Neymar. He's the equivalent to what Ronaldinho was to a whole generation growing up watching football, including myself. Most people I ask, how did you fall in love with football my age? They reply, Ronaldinho. And when I ask the younger generation, a lot of the time the answer, Neymar. Known for his insanely effective, flashy, showboaty skills, which we find an abundance of all over YouTube. But we are yet to see a full individual match clip analysis of him, dissecting every play to decode what actually makes him so effective. And this video is such an eye-opening one. We picked 3 completely random El Clasico games at Neymar's time in Barcelona and follow along as we go through every clip. For you ballers, you'll take so much from this one. And again, not only wingers. 2 of the main things that you're going to learn is 1, how to cut inside so effectively, and 2, how Neymar protects the ball. And of course, you're going to see so much dribbling theory in this video. After this analysis, you'll genuinely be much closer to being able to implement Neymar's dribbling style. Also, Neymar has been the most highly requested player, so I hope it's worth the wait. If you're new here to CMP, we help you discover those knowledge gaps massively holding you back, whether it be the small technical details or your decision making, leaving no stone unturned. And if you're a regular viewer, welcome back. Let's get into the first of the 3 games. In the 3rd minute, we see this bit of play from Neymar, but it's this cut inside that I want to highlight. First, the decision making, and he's driving at the fullback. We see 2 other Madrid players also retreating here, with 1 teammate making a run in the box. So if Neymar goes down the line here, he's making life much harder for himself. Good angle of approach on the fullback. Now this cut inside on Modric. One thing Neymar does better than near enough anyone is this, and he makes it look super easy. As Neymar touches it horizontally, we see Modric's hips and momentum are going this way. So, as Neymar goes to cut inside, he can anticipate Modric now planting, and then re-engaging with a stretched leg. He does 1 touch slightly diagonally backwards, and as Modric re-engages, he does a big diagonally backwards touch to avoid that leg. And we can see just how perfect this is. Many players go wrong when cutting inside, knocking the ball too horizontally. Always getting cut out by that outstretched leg. In the 22nd minute, another cut inside, this time getting a foul. So how does he simply cut inside here? Although Neymar is known for his flashy showboaty skills, it's so important to note that he's as good, if not better, with the simple ones. And he uses the simple stuff so much more. Just they never make it into the highlight reels. He can get away with his flashy stuff even when it doesn't work because he's mastered the simple art of dribbling. He gets the first 2 pillars of a successful dribble right. As he controls the ball, we see the defender's momentum is coming here. Now, look what Neymar does. He touches it with the inside of his left foot here, which makes the defender plant his left foot and begin to jockey. But because he's an isolated defender, Neymar is in control. The skill Neymar uses to cut inside, a subtle fake touch with his right foot straight into a body feint down the line, and paused. The defender has now crossed over his legs to run down the line. A sharp touch inside and another immediate one to avoid the outstretched leg. Neymar got the defender clicking his heels together, trying to jockey. One of the most vulnerable positions they can be in, all because he works the angle of approach, in turn giving him some momentum advantage. Again, a lot of players can go wrong with this escape touch. Neymar has mastered it. In the 28th minute, he cuts inside again, driving at a great angle and then running around the ball facing completely square, hiding his body feint amazingly. We see before he does the body feint, his right foot stabs behind the ball, mimicking a fast pass inside. He's always doing little feints like this, which is very mentally fatiguing for the defenders. Again, as he does the body feint, the defender crosses over his legs. Also, the defender feeling help from his teammate makes him more likely to overcommit down the line, as he feels the inside is more covered, and it's not his responsibility. In the 46th minute, so close to getting an assist. As Neymar faces up the secondary defender and turns back to face the fullback up, how does he beat him? It's this subtle body feint inside. Pause. As the defender goes to tackle, we see he was trying to poke away that inside touch. Also, note how Neymar lifts the ball. A 1-2 with Suarez. Again, as this passing lane is risky because of a potential outstretched leg. Into a fake cross, cut across. Running around the ball, arm up, causing the defender to plant his feet. a touch to the goal line and a perfect cutback, and Barca should have made it 3. In the 49th minute, we see Neymar do this one a lot. With an aggressive defender pressing, he sometimes comes directly backwards to nullify the pressure while staying side on, as he knows the fullback can't follow him all the way out. In the 61st minute, a reversed elastico, showing his pace and now running around the ball to face directly in field for a perfect angle of approach. Initially moving down the line with the defender following, and then all of a sudden stopping the ball, which in turn makes the defender now plant his feet and slightly engaged going towards Neymar. And an engaged defender is highly reactive. His escape touch from the skill is a lift, and notice how the first touch down the line made the defender push off hard, now running diagonally backwards to keep himself between the man and the ball before finding Messi. In the 82nd minute, keeping the ball well, laying it off, making a running behind, playing a 1-2 with Messi, and then getting a foul. Barcelona 4-0 up, and Neymar holds onto the ball to draw in the defender, acting completely relaxed, and then stretching forward with his right foot to touch it backwards, again side on. And again easily cuts inside by going diagonally backwards. Now coming towards Messi on this line before darting on the blind side. The ball cuts out and eventually finds Neymar, who bodies his fullback, thinking fast. Moving the ball backwards, getting side on, and again moving it back as the defender goes for the tackle. As you see with Neymar's ball protection skill, it's super simple. He's always side on, and he always knocks the ball either backwards or diagonally backwards, making sure to keep himself between the man and the ball. In the 83rd minute, drawing another foul. Paused as he receives with his back foot, we have the defender's momentum on this line. Neymar goes from 0 to 100 and touches the ball with a perfect weight to cut across first time. In the 85th minute, he plays this pass. Even though he's taken the ball here, notice how he's around the back of the ball facing in field, meaning he can take the ball either way now. He does a body feint into a fake touch down the line as we see him crossing his legs over, selling it more, which makes the defender sprint down the line, and Neymar touches it back against his momentum, creating this small passing lane. In the 87th minute, he should get an assist with a simple knock and run and a perfectly weighted cross with his left foot. The first game down, 2 to go. And there's still so much more you're going to learn. And before we move on, if you're getting any value from this video, if you can, drop a like now before you forget. What a legend. Much appreciated. Back to the video. In the 5th minute, we see this bit of flair. Again, this is all about Neymar's angle of approach to get some momentum advantage. As he opens out with the ball, Kroos is coming this way. Neymar simply takes it against his momentum, which now makes Kroos plant. Neymar now has a passing option to bait here too. After he knocks inside, he's hanging his right leg here whilst hopping inside. As soon as Kroos turns to be square, he now chips it diagonally this way over his leg. Then a slick back heel to Iniesta. In the 10th minute, another cut inside with a back heel. As the ball is coming into Iniesta, he is initially stood behind the fullback, who can't see Neymar and the ball at the same time. Neymar simply spins off his blind side as he runs in behind and comes deep to find it between this passing lane. He opens up, touches backwards, actually using the ref as protection, and lays the ball off to Messi before making this run. In the 16th minute, we see both Iniesta and Neymar expertly cutting inside. Iniesta does 2 touches inside, and once he has Modric engaged, he knocks it diagonally backwards to just avoid the outstretched leg. And now instead of playing to Neymar straight away, he does this little touch. One, because the defender's momentum is coming here, so it could be risky as he may block off the pass, but this now also drags the defender away from Neymar, giving him more time. Neymar controls and faces the defender up before scooping it sharply backwards, twice always getting side on and getting himself between the man and the ball. In the 19th minute, he nearly pulls this off, but the ball goes out of play. Facing up Modric, who's now planted, he does a fake burst down the line by planting his right leg here, seeing how Modric reacts. The exact same again, and also we see Matoma do this one, but the ball just goes out of play. In the 31st minute, we see the reverse elastico again, this time not working. If we compare both, We see it worked more when he initially got the defender moving fast down the line, stopping the ball sharply, in turn stopping the defender sharp, and then bursting into the skill, doing it against a planted defender. But here, he didn't, and the defender can simply spin and re-engage. In the 46th minute, we see him lose balance doing la claqueta. We see him do it perfectly in the exact same scenario. This was harder because he had Modric shoulder barging him from the side. As Neymar touches it against Kroos's momentum, Modric was pushing him back this way. In the 49th minute, linking up with Messi. As Messi receives again, he's on the blind side of the fullback, who can't see Messi and Neymar at the same time. The fullback is aware of this dangerous run from Neymar, which gives him time to now receive to feet. The pass is cut out, but he gets on the rebound, straight into a fake shot chop against Pepe's momentum, who's chasing to block the line of the shot. Now this really subtle skill. After the chop, I want you to notice that he now runs back around the ball to really sell a curl pass over the top here. If he doesn't run around the ball like this, it doesn't look realistic. This now makes Casemiro spread to block off the pass, and he takes it against his momentum, and then finds Messi. And lastly, in the 86th minute, causing havoc. He receives with his back foot and delays, drawing the defender right into his side. But again, he slightly opens up, not facing directly down the pitch, to create a better angle of approach. He scoops the ball down the line into an immediate body feint inside, which sends Modric that way into a big diagonal touch, and 1 touch, 2 touch, and 3 touch to avoid that slide tackle. Now a 1-2 and a brilliant control with the outside of his foot. And just look how he angles his foot to bring the ball on this path with the outside of his foot. Remember, this sort of stuff is all physics, but this is completely instinctual for Neymar to create the perfect angle with his foot. He now pins the defender, keeping his right foot wide to protect the ball, and then lays it off. Paused at the start of the clip, when he has the ball, notice how Neymar ends up here with a dribble, and the small one too. Only a handful of players can do this sort of thing. Again, I want to stress how much Neymar has mastered the simple, intricate skills. You see how he's always just missing that stretched leg to poke the ball away. He always creates a great angle of approach, sometimes running around the ball without touching it still to create that perfect angle. He's praised for his flashy skills, but when we break down his actual individual performances in-game, his body feints, fake shots and fake crosses, la claqueta, all with perfectly timed angle of approaches and escape touches, as well as lots of intricate little feints with his dribble to fatigue the defender and off-balance them. Now, the final random El Clasico game that we picked, again, we see some top plays. In the 27th minute, we see this knock and run. Barca's playing the tiki-taka, with Alves bouncing the ball off Xavi, drawing in the defender, now making a free pass to Neymar, who lets the ball come across his body. But as the ball is initially coming into Neymar, Marcelo is engaged. He wants to apply heavy pressure, but Neymar faces him up early. Marcelo backs off, and this now is Neymar's cue that he's engaging for a tackle. Now he simply lifts it over that sliding leg down the line. Slightly too heavy as Ramos just gets there before him. In the 34th minute, he yet again cuts inside successfully, and again with a lift. Touching the ball more down the line with his instep to keep the defender going this way. But no, he's not fully facing down the line, he's slightly turned in so he can escape on the inside too. And when you take it in, the speed at which Neymar cuts inside, lifting the ball with a perfect weight behind it, just shows how incredible his ball mastery is. He makes this look seamless. Also to note the disguise, his hips are still facing here as he scoops it inside, making it impossible to read. And he gets yet another foul. In the 40th minute, we see even Neymar messes up his tricks sometimes. The reason I say this is because when I was playing, I used to get so angry at myself when I give the ball away or made a mistake. Whereas you see players like Neymar, instead, they smile. Almost with an attitude like, it's nothing. Like they aren't putting tremendous amounts of pressure on themselves, and it's still a game to them. It seems like they've managed to keep that inner child alive that originally fell in love with football. They accept they've made a mistake, forget about it, and move on. So next time they get the ball, and trust me, I know a lot of you have been in this position where you've made a mistake, you get the ball, and now you're thinking, I can't make another mistake, I've just made one. They won't be thinking like that. And of course, to have this level of confidence takes so many hours of practice to have this sort of technical ability with the ball. And when I say this takes a lot of work, I mean the right work. Unfortunately, you can work for years so ineffectively that you're wasting so much time. I've been there, and it's so frustrating to think back to what I now know. And that's exactly why I spend months, even years, building out some of these programs to simplify some of the most complex things in the game, to give you as much knowledge as possible, as clarity is confidence. He receives the ball side on, bringing it back down the pitch to give him some room. Driving inside against his momentum, he does a chop straight into an aggressive body feint to mimic a touch here, taken against his momentum again. And now a variation of the roll and chop to go back this way, but he gets it wrong. Neymar loves this skill, and we see him use it a lot. Lastly, with this clip, Neymar is really clever when a defender is trying to block him off. If you notice, it seems obvious that Neymar will come this way around when he messes up and the defender tries to pin him, but he slips around the other side and pokes the ball away. We also seen him do this against Pepe when he got the reverse Elastico wrong. And finally, in the 62nd minute, a top run from Neymar, but an even better pass from Messi, which results in a red card for Ramos. Messi opens up and gets his head up, right away spotting Neymar on the blind side. As Neymar begins making this run, Messi is initially facing this way. We would assume he would choose this passing lane with his current body position, but at the last second, he moves around the ball to access this one on the disguise. Neymar cuts across Ramos and expertly dives. Another thing is mastered. There's so many different videos we could put together of Neymar, and this is only the start. His style definitely changed as he went to PSG. For me, he was a lot more flashy at PSG. In the future, it'd be great to see how his game evolved, all the way from when he was 17 to Barcelona to PSG. To replicate Neymar's dribbling, it's not all flashy. As you've seen, he's mastered the simple things. His angle of approach, reading the defender's momentum early, taking his first or second touch, counter the defender's momentum, giving himself some momentum advantage, putting the defender now in the most uncomfortable position, his disguise with his skills, his mini body feints, and fake touches always to put the defender off balance, and second guessing. And how he lifts the ball a lot to avoid those outstretched legs. If the angle of approach and momentum advantage analysis in this video was interesting for you, that's only 2 of the 4 pillars of a successful dribble. If you want to learn all about it, you're definitely going to want to go and check this one out. My own dribbling framework that I put together, one of our shorter programs, just over 2 hours long, decoding every single scenario and how the 4 pillars work in each one. And that's only one of many programs that I've made. For example, this dribbling one, which is over 4 hours long and has 30 game-specific drills that mimic exact scenarios you'll find yourself in, with more to come. This game is too competitive to let game-changing knowledge slip away from you, because the more you know, the more confident you're going to be and the more effective your training will be. My whole goal is to help players become more valuable to themselves than any coach could ever be for them. Link to the CMP website in the description below. Also, we've been getting a lot of messages asking when the final section of the new receiving course is out, and we're hoping for around 3 weeks. But for those who have it, keep an eye out on your emails for the confirmed date. Hopefully, after watching this analysis, you can appreciate Neymar's genius even more. In the future, of course, we will decode his flair as well. But it's important to see what makes him the player that he is. And the flair is just a tiny part of it. Thank you for watching. Keep ticking off all of your knowledge gaps, as I know some of you are so close from completely transforming your game. For any of you pros watching, maybe you're in League 1 like I was, and you have a handful of knowledge gaps holding you back, which could take you to the Championship or even Prem, for example. But also for you beginners and young academy ballers. Put in the work on the pitch, but as importantly, off the pitch as well. All our programs are mainly geared towards the theory side of the game, but we're going to start rolling out some more technique mastery stuff really soon as well. I'll give a bigger update on this within the next few videos. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, but most of all, keep chasing your potential.